If you're a business person, a trader, or anyone who wants to sell something for money, you have to advertise your products and services. Maisha TV is your best and affordable platform to market your business. We have over 50,000 Facebook likes, 1 million viewers watching us. We have daily news, highly visited website, and so if you advertise with us, we simply put your products or services to over 2 million people across all our platforms. Seriously, if you want to make money, you must market your business. Let's do the marketing and you get your money. Call us now, 0746 999 841. That is 0746 999 841. Or write to info@maishatv.co.ke. Just choose it, watch it, and love it.
A very good evening to you, and thank you for choosing Maisha Television for this broadcast. My name is Rida Chebet Karim. Welcome. The uproar following Tuesday's fuel price hike took a different turn after irate motorists staged demonstrations along the Migori-Isebania highway, paralyzing transport along the busy highway for hours. The armed police officers watched helplessly as the irate motorists parked their vehicles in the middle of the Migori town bridge, the only access point to the town, claiming they had to run out of fuel. The development coming even as the Motorist Association of Kenya called for the immediate disbandment of the Energy Petroleum Regulatory Authority (EPRA) for failing in their duty. Antonio Sundo brings us that report.
Deputy President William Ruto has criticized the government for the hike in fuel prices at a time when Kenyans are struggling with the COVID-19 pandemic.
Kamati pia ya bunge ya mambo ya energy waketi chini pamoja na waziri watueleze na waeleze Kenya na watoe advice kwa serikali ili tuchukue hatua ambazo itasaidia Wakenya kupunguza hali hii ya kuongezeka kwa mafuta ya petroli ambayo itaongeza yale mambo mengine mengi na kuleta hali ya maisha kupanda gharama.
Speaking at his residence in Karen, Ruto has called on EPRA to lower the fuel prices.
Relevant committee of parliament must also summon an urgent meeting, work with the ministry to make sure that we manage this situation that is rolling out of hand because of the current situation in the nation.
People complain that the situation may lead to households experiencing decreased income, employment, and returns to factors used for production.
Niko na pikipiki. Sasa hata pikipiki nimeshinda kuenda kwa sababu ya mafuta.
Mimi ni mwana bodaboda. Kwa majina naitwa Sokoine ama Walubende. Natoka maeneo la Bungoma, eneo lingine ndogo la Sangalo. Changamoto ambayo tumepata kwa ajili ya kazi yetu ni mafuta kupanda. Haya mafuta sasa imepanda na shilingi 8. Na kwenza Sangalo ilikuwa shilingi 70. Sasa hii inatakana iwe shilingi 150. Ukiambia mteja 150 atakwambia heri atembee kwa mguu kuliko apande pikipiki. Sasa ni changamoto kwamba mafuta ishukishwe, bei biashara kuwa sawa sawa Bungoma.
Hali ya maisha inaenda ikipanda, mafuta inapanda, unapata pia corona inapanda. Sasa sisi kama wa Kenya hatujui tutaona nini inapanda kwa maisha yetu. Na gharama ya maisha pia inapanda.
Most of the matatu drivers and boda riders are now facing the hardest phase of life as they have to maintain the fare charges that were used before but still spend more on fuel, worrying that these might cause a low economic pandemic.
Mimi naitwa Dennis Wanzala, driver matatu ya Malaba Bungoma. Wapunguze mafuta maana sisi tunanyenyekea, akina abiria fare ni ile ile tu. Mtu anakuja ako na ako na ABCD.
Sisi ni wana bodaboda wengine tunalipa pikipiki. Na pikipiki ni ya watu wanaitwa watu kampuni ambayo kwa siku tunalipa shilingi 400. Sasa kama ni 400 kwa siku, mafuta 130 itakuwaje nipata changu kidogo cha kukula? Sitaweza kupata. Kwa hivyo mafuta kama ni Mwenyezi ameongeza pesa ashukishe.
Tajiri anataka pesa, anaweza patia tajiri kama 2,000 kwa siku. Na hiyo ni pesa kidogo, chopa hii inafaa upatiane kama 4,000.
They urge the national government to hear their laments and reduce on the fuel prices.
Mimi naitwa Augustine Juma kutoka kule Kocholia, mimi ni hoka. Sisi tunategemea hao maabiria. Na wakati tunategemea maabiria na wamepandisha fare juu, inamaanisha ya kwamba hata sisi pia hatuwezi kuuza kwa sababu hao abiria wakitaka kununua kitu wanaona fare imepanda. Hawawezi.
Sasa itakuwa kama pandisha mafuta sisi tutoka Bungoma tuende Uganda tukunywe mafuta. Kwa sababu mafuta kutoka Kenya inaenda Uganda. Na Kenya mafuta imepanda kuliko Uganda na Tanzania. Mwenyezi aenda arekebishe na akaa chini na waziri wake mwenye anahusika na mambo ya moto na mafuta atengeneze bei.
Nilikuwa nakunywa shilingi 7, shilingi 1,000 lita 7. Sasa nakunywa shilingi 1,000 lita 5. Ambapo mimi naomba hii serikali itupunguzie mafuta.
Anthony Usundwa, Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
Wanaumia watoto wa shule wanateseka, mkate umepanda bei, maziwa yamepanda bei, sukari imepanda bei.
And the calls from the clergy for mediation between President Uhuru Kenyatta and Deputy President William Ruto appear to have yielded some fruit. Last month, the National Congress of Pentecostal Churches and Ministries called for a truce between President Uhuru Kenyatta and his Deputy William Ruto. The clergy urged the President to engage his Deputy to try and find a solution to their differences, while appealing to the Deputy President to be willing to sit down with his boss and resolve the differences before they get out of hand. Responding to the calls, the Deputy President has said that he is more than ready to talk with his boss and make things right.
Niko tayari. Hawa maaskofu wamesema wanataka kuniweka pamoja na rais. Mimi niko asubuhi na mapema bila condition. Kwa sababu mimi namheshimu rais. Yeye ni mdosi wangu. Kuna watu tu wakora wamekuja hapo wakaweka fitina mingi. Mpaka wakasemekana huyu Deputy President uweke kando, sijui nini. Lakini mimi niko ready. Without condition, any moment, kwa sababu tulichaguliwa pamoja na Wakenya na walitupatia majukumu ya kuendesha serikali hii ya Kenya mbele kwa muda ambayo tumepatiwa. Wale wengine ambao wameleta fitina wangoje tuende kwa uchaguzi. Uwezi kuja kutoea serikali ambayo wewe hukuunda. Ama namna gani? Si waende watafute vile tulienda kutafuta. Na watatukuta huko tukitafuta pia.
And SCK Bishop of Bungoma, George Mechumo, has reiterated that churches are places of worship but not epicenter of political animosity. The bishop says places of worship are sacred and not platforms for mobilizing political support. Here is the full report.
So unapokuja kanisani ni mahali tofauti. That one is a different ground. Hiyo sio ground ya siasa.
The move by the Anglican Church of Kenya Archbishop Jackson Ole Sapit to ban politicians from politicking in the pulpit has elicited different reactions from Kenyans, religious leaders and politicians, with others supporting the move while others criticizing it. The Catholic Church of Kenya has now followed the suit by announcing that it will not allow politicians to conduct politics in churches, saying that the church is a place of spiritual nourishment and growth.
Tukio ambalo lilikuwa kule Butere sana kwa wito uliotolewa na askofu mkuu wa kanisa Anglikana nchini, Daktari Jackson Ole Sabit, ya kwamba watu ambao wameingia katika hali ya kisiasa wasije wakachukua kanisa kuwa ni mahala pa kufanya siasa na kutoa matusi kwa wenzao. Iwe tu ni mahala ambapo watu wanakuja kuheshimu Mwenyezi Mungu na kuweza kuabudu na kusikia neno la Mungu. Nafikiri kuna baadhi ya watu kutoka mitandao ambao tumesoma ambao wanakashifu sana askofu mkuu kwa tendo hilo na tena kwa tamshi hilo. Lakini sisi kama maaskofu wa kanisa la Kianglikana tunataka kuungana na askofu mkuu wa kanisa la Kianglikana nchini, na hata vile vile nimesikia kwamba makanisa mengine kama kanisa Katoliki kama muungano wa makanisa nchini, yani NCCK, wametoa huo mwito ya kwamba kanisa iwe ni kanisa la Kristo wala sio mahala pa kutoa hotuba za chuki na kuwakawanyisha wa Kenya katika msingi wa kikabila na tena wa kisiasa.
Following the criticism, the SCK bishops have come out to defend Archbishop Ole Sapit for the move. Led by Bungoma SCK Bishop George Mechumo, they have lauded the move, citing the disruptions that had been witnessed between the two factions, that is, leaders allied to ODM party leader Raila Odinga and those allied to ANC leader Musalia Mudavadi earlier during the sermon session.
Mambo ya kutuziana ndiyo jambo ambalo tunaona ya kwamba linaharibu na linakawanya kanisa. Siku hiyo ya Butere tulianza wakati ambapo askofu mkuu mstaafu Benjamin Zimbi alikuwa anatoa mahubiri yake, na hapo ndipo tuliweza kuona na kushuhudia furuko kati ya wale wanaomuunga kinara wa ODM na wale wanaomuunga kinara cha ANC na hata Fort Kenya, wakitusiana pale na hali kuna mahubiri inaendelea. Na hiyo ikatuonyesha ya kwamba kama vinara wangelisungumuza wakati huo, pengine wangechafua mahala pale, na sisi tulikuwa ni watu tumekuja kuomba Mungu. Kwa hivyo ilikuwa ni jambo zuri, na hata najua kwamba wafuasi wa ODM baadaye waliweza kusema kwamba hata askofu mkuu alifanya vizuri, kwa sababu kuna watu walikuwa wamepangwa ili wapate kufuruga mkutano na tena ile misa takatifu.
Bishop Mechumo, however, noted that they are still welcome in church provided that they abide by the laid rules.
Ninajua ya kwamba vinara wa viongozi wetu wa upinzani kama Raila Odinga alikuwa Butere wakati tulikuwa tunamtawaza askofu wa Butere. Hata naibu wa rais alikuwa kwingine kule katika kule Nairobi, na akaweza pia kuwa na shida kama hiyo. Askofu mkuu hajamaanisha kwamba viongozi wetu ambao pia ni baadhi ya Wakristo wetu wasihudhurie misa katika kanisa zetu. Wao wako huru kuingia katika kanisa kwa sababu ni Wakristo. Kitu ambacho askofu mkuu alikuwa anamaanisha ni ya kwamba watofautishe kuwa Mkristo na Ukristo na siku takatifu na siku zingine ambazo mtu anaweza kutoa wito ama kuuza sera zake za kutaka kuungwa mkono ili apate kuchaguliwa kwa nyadhifa yote ile. Kwa hivyo anapokuja kanisani, kwa maoni yangu ningeona ya kwamba wangenyenyekea na wajue kwamba ni kanisa, Ikiwa kuna nafasi wanaweza kupewa, pengine ni kusalamia kama Wakristo wengine.
Pastor David of Word of Truth in Bungoma town was also of the view of banning politicians from conducting in politics while attending church service.
Kanisa na siasa, tulikuwa tumefika mahali ambapo kanisa ilikuwa imeshaanza kuingia ndani ya siasa, ama siasa ilikuwa imeanza kuingia ikakita mizizi ndani ya kanisa. Na hii imekuwa ikitendeka kwa sababu tulikuwa tunaona kila mwanasiasa anataka penye kanisa liko. Kwa sababu unajua sisi wachungaji tunakusanya kanisa, tunakusanya watu kila wakati. Watu wako lazima unaweza wapata. Sio lazima wapigie mtu kengele ndio akuje kanisani. Jumapili tu lazima mtu akuje. So wanasiasa wamekuwa wakiona kwamba nikienda Word of Truth pale kwa Pastor David nitapata watu wa kuongea nao. Na kila ambacho ningelisema ama labda ningeliweza wasia ambao ningelipeana kwa wachungaji wenzangu ni kwamba ikiwa mwanasiasa huyu amekuja, ni vizuri kama ameniambia atakuja, nimwambie tu tafadhali wewe ongea na watu ndio, lakini ulimit, chunga maneno yako, chunga yale ambayo utasema.
According to Pastor David, those who fellowship in different churches are of different political affiliations, and the move by politicians to bring politics in church is ill because they end up dividing the church.
Kama hili letu utapata kwamba kuna mtu ambaye ni wa UDA na hajawahi niambia. Kuna mtu ambaye ni wa Jubilee, kuna mtu ambaye ni wa Ford Kenya, kuna mtu ambaye ni wa ODM hapo mahali hapa, ama hiyo oka vile mimi nasikia hivyo. Na unapopata kwamba mtu labda wa UDA amekuja na unapata mtu wa Jubilee hapo hapa ndani, inakuwa ni huyo mtu anasikia vibaya. Kwa nini pastor ameikaribisha huyu? Unapata kwamba wakati ambapo wanatoka inakaa kana kwamba mtoaje mgogoro fulani ambao sio wa kawaida kanisani. Msiwezi wadanganya nyinyi wanasiasa, wakati mnatoka huwa mnawaacha different reactions katikati ya washirika wetu, kwa sababu inaanza tu wakati huo. Huyu alikuja aje, huyu ilikuwa namna gani? So sikatai kwamba watu wasikuja kwa kanisa, hata vile ambao tunaweza ongea kuhusu mzee wetu Olesepit vile ambavyo aliongea, ndio hawa watu ni kupewa tu nafasi yao ya kuja kuongea. Unamwambia kwamba ukiongea usiongee kinyume na mwingine.
They however challenge the move, citing the financial support that politicians offer to churches, especially those that do not have donors.
Kitu kingine ambacho pia nilikuwa najaribu labda kuchallenge mzee wetu mzee Olesepit ni kwamba some churches zinajitegemea, hazitegemei donors from outside, hazina mtu yoyote. Hiyo church unapata ni hiyo pastor, sometimes pastor anatoa pesa kwa mfuko yake, ananunua kiti, ananunua vyombo, ana support miradi kidogo pale ndani. So unapata kwamba huyu mwanasiasa kukuja kwa hiyo kanisa is a blessing kwa ile group ambayo iko pale. Ule pastor akiwachiwa kitu kama shilingi 1500, 1100 ama milioni 1, utapata kwamba ameanza mradi mwingine pale kanisani. No, now locking these people outside the church sometimes is also locking a blessing for other pastors, ambao mimi naweza kwamba kunao wengi sana ambao wanalia kwamba Mheshimiwa Ruto akuje, Mheshimiwa yetu Raila akuje, rais wetu akuje. Juu akikuja najua kwamba atatuacha kama tuko salama.
For Maisha TV, Maisha Prime, Rida Chebet Kering. Former Sports Cabinet Secretary Hassan Wario has been sentenced to 6 years in prison with an alternative fine of 3.6 million shillings over corruption and abuse of office linked to the 2016 Rio Olympics. Wario becomes the first high-ranking former cabinet secretary to be handed a jail term. The former National Olympic Committee of Kenya Deputy Treasurer Stephen Arap Soi, who was accused alongside Wario, was slapped with a 103 million shillings fine or 10 years in jail by the Anti-Corruption Court. And a cross-section of Kisii County elders have condemned political leaders spreading hate speech and chaos in burial ceremonies. This is after an incident where an unnamed political aspirant stormed a burial ceremony in company of youths and disrupted the ongoing service. Let's have a look.
Juzi tuliona tabia nyingine imeanza kuingiliwa na watu wa nje wakiharibu tamaduni zetu. Sisi kama Wakisii tunachua tu wakati ya masisi ama wakati ya kuomboleza, watu wanapokuja pamoja ili kumwaga yule aliyekufa, anastahili sifa yake, sababu kile kimemleta kutoka huko mbali mahali ametoka ni ile upendo ya ule mwenye ameaga. Kwa hivyo tabia hiyo ya wengine wakija wanaanza kusengenya wengine kwa matanga, wanaanza kusema fulani nini, hiyo si tabia mzuri.
Yeye kazi yake ni kuharibu mashishi ya watu wengine. Yeye hakuji kwa mashishi tu, anakuja tu kwa kujionyesha na kuleta vijana kwa kubatia shilingi 5, na hiyo shilingi 5 vijana, wacha niwaambie hivi, baada ya shilingi 5 akichukua kura hamtamuona kwa miaka 5 ama miaka 10.
Naomba kila mtu yule anakuja kuomboleza asitache jina ya fulani. Yeye aseme sera zake, aseme maneno yake na aondoke. Ikiwa ni sadaka ya kufariji boma, wewe toa vile roho yako imekuendekeza ili utoke pole upatie na mwingine nafasi.
Kitu ambacho tunataka sisi kama vijana tufanye siasa ya maendeleo, tusikize kila mmoja sera zake, anapouza sera zake tumsikize kwa makini ili tuchague kiongozi ambaye anafaa. Kwa hivyo zile siasa kuleta mambo vita, vurugu katika mashishi tumesikataa.
Now to matters education, as schools decry lack of enough funds from the government and the Constituency Development Fund CDF, the principal of SC Butonge has a different tune as he highlights some of the school projects that help the school run their operations. Amoga Shane brings us the full report on this.
Rapid developments in technologies for teaching and communications require adjustments in the internal workings of schools. These are just a few of the conditions that make schooling more challenging and leadership more essential. We talked to the principal of AC Butonge Secondary School, which is a public extra-county school located near Bungoma town, Sirisia constituency in Bungoma County, who gave us a brief description in some of the projects he has been working on since he came to AC Butonge Secondary last year.
Thank you. I want to first of all welcome everybody else to AC Butonge. My name is Butonge, the principal and the senior principal of AC Butonge High School, a place where I came in 2020, beginning of the year or first term. Butonge is a school which is an extra county school within Sirisia constituency, Bungoma sub-county. Is located around the Sirisia, Marakisi, and Maraba route, just on that road, the Maram road, but quite accessible.
The performance of the school has improved from a stagnation of a mean of 3 and 4, and the school took a large number of students to the university. The school's target this year is to achieve a mean grade of 7.
In terms of performance of the school, we are doing very well. The school, I think, for some time had some problems, and the mean had stagnated between 3 and 4. But last year we were able to move the mean from 4 all the way up to 5.3. And actually we took the highest number of students at the university. In the history of the school, we took about 54 of them. The mean target for this year, we are targeting to hit 7, which we are working on. And we are moving gradually towards it by having very good and sophisticated academic programs, right from the way we are taking care of our weak students, the bright students. We are managing our time. It's one that will definitely give us the mean of the 7.
One of the projects he is working on as a senior principal is reviving the construction of the administration block and building of a modern gate.
And if I can maybe just a few, to mention just but a few, among the things that we've done is that we have revived the construction of administration block that had been stopped for some time. Later on you'll see it outside there is one of the best administration block that is coming up for any extra county school. Then we're also building a ultra modern gate. Is going to be the best of the in terms of aesthetics in the Bungoma County, maybe to be second from none.
During the COVID-19 period last year, he decided to be very creative where they started a banana plantation and cattle rearing in the school.
Then when I came also, that was during the Corona time, and we were very creative. We were able to start a farm, a banana farm, where we planted close to 300 banana plants. Right now they are flowering and only producing some bananas. Apart from that, we also bought some cows, about 11 of them, which are now they are outside there. Maybe you'll be able to see them later on if you visit the school. But they are very healthy and they are doing very well.
Also, some of the classes have been renovated and even tiled. Power backup, that is a generator, has also been put in place, and now the school is powered.
We have also renovated a number of classes that were dilapidated and poor. We have put tiles on some of them. We have also bought, in the course of that last year, we bought a generator. So now the school is powered. We have properly. We have a generator that is capable of lighting all the points from the teachers' quarters, the classes, the dorms, and it's actually a very powerful one.
He thanked all the parties responsible for this improvement, that is, the teachers, parents, students, and the BOM team of the school. Also, the Ministry of Education and the area Member of Parliament, Honorable Waluke, who is funding the administration block.
I have not worked alone to do all that. I've worked with a number of teams. The first team is the parents, who have been very committed and also very supportive. We have also worked with the students. They were disciplined before that, but now we have the most disciplined school within the counties. So they are very well disciplined. And then we also have a very dedicated team of teachers working together as a team. Those teachers will be there very early in the morning at 5, the lessons will start. Sometimes the lesson will end at around 10. AMP, Major Waruke, who is right now funding that administration block that is there, we shall be having all our classes, about 8 classes there, and then all our offices are going to.
For Maisha Prime News, I'm Amoga.
A section of residents in Tiati constituency in Baringo County took to the streets demanding the release of their Member of Parliament William Kamket. The residents claim Kamket should not be associated with the recent spate of banditry attacks in the neighboring Laikipia County, as he is innocent.
Hiyo ni kitu kimoja ambayo imeshangaza mwananchi wa Tiati. Tunataka sheria ifuatwe. Atusui, atusemi fulani asishikwe. Watu waje, kama niko na hatia nishikwe. Kama mtu fulani ako na hatia ashikwe, lakini ashikwe kwa haki.
And now let's get the impact of COVID-19 pandemic to businesses by Anthony Osundwa.
As the country goes on with the battle of the low economy caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, traders in Bungoma town in Bungoma County have raised concerns over the protocols imposed by the Ministry of Health. This is due to the continued losses witnessed in their businesses. We met Victor Odhiambo, a business personnel selling mitumba at the Chebkube market.
Kwa majina anaitwa Victor Odhiambo Loch. Mimi ni mkazi wa Bungoma. Fanya biashara ya kuuza mitumba, manguo ya mitumba. Hii biashara baadaye mwanzo nilikuwa nafanyia mtu nilipokuja Bungoma. That was in 2018. Nilifanyia watu kama 3 4 hivi. Na baadaye nikaamua kuanza biashara yangu sasa mwenyewe. Pole tu hadi saizi penye nimefika.
Victor says the pandemic has changed the normal way of life, as restrictions such as curfews and lockdowns have changed the normal behavior of customers who turn up at a low rate, but gain too much because they also lack the money to cater for the marked prices of their commodities.
Mwanzo vile kabla COVID, biashara ilikuwa na noga zaidi. Manake kwa napata kwa siku na uko na pesa mingi, yani kwa mfano unaweza kuwa na kama 1500 1600 kwa siku nauza hivyo, lakini baada ya corona kukuja unapata hata kwa siku na uko na 1000 hata 500 hivyo. Yani biashara imerudi chini zaidi, si kama hapo mwanzo. Imerudi chini zaidi. Yani imekuwa mbaya. customers unajua sasa hawataki kuelewa. Najaribu kuelezea lakini yani wanafikiria tu mambo ni kawaida vile ilikuwa mwanzo pale. Lakini sasa najaribu tu kadri uwezo wako pia. Jaribu kuelezea corona pia imeharibu pia. Kuna wenye wanaelewa, kuna wenye hawaelewi, lakini hivyo hivyo tu maisha pia yanaendelea. Unaambia customer nawe. Sasa yeye anakuuliza, kwani unataka ninawe nikule ama nifanye nini? Sasa najua mnasumbuana na wateja, lakini kuna wachache pia wanaelewa. Tuambie wanawe wananawa. Sasa hizo restriction pia wanafuata. Ni wachache lakini sio wote. Wengi wao wamepuuzia pia.
He urges the county government of Bungoma to at least come up with some measures like giving loans to at least boost their businesses.
Ningependelea tu county government pia tusaidie pia, kama anaweza saidia watu wafanye biashara wadogo kama sisi, maybe tusaidie kitu kama loan hivi, yani ile ya kuboost biashara pia. Unajua sasa hizi biashara mingi zimefungwa, watu wengi wamepoteza kazi, kuna wenye sasa hawana kazi. Lakini at least akiboost na loan kidogo kiasi ile, yani si ile kiwango ya juu, ile kidogo at least inaweza saidia pia kuboost biashara iendelee. Tutakuwa tunashukuru zaidi hapo.
Victor urges his fellow business personnel to work under flexibility and always learn on how to survive with the low economy caused by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Mimi ningependa kuambia kwa maisha hakuna kitu yenye nakosa changamoto. Kila kitu kuna changamoto yake, lakini zaidi.
Thank you so much, Anthony, for that feature. We hope that the economy will be back to normal soon. And with that, we've come to the end of Maisha Prime News. My name is Rida Chedetkeling, and after this, I'll be coming back on PLG Thursday, that is Politics, Leadership and Governance. Make sure you don't miss out.
Hello 22bet.
Oya, ni aje?
Poa sana.
Unasikia naenda kuingia kwa account yangu napata kuna maziwa rada?
Oh, hiyo ni Euro 2020 cashback. Tunapeana 8% kwa kila game ya Euro.
Hadi kwa kila game?
Hata zenye zimekunywa maji.
Sasa nyinyi ndio mabazeng. Itabidi hadi nimechapia mbogi. Cheki Mamorio. Unasikia kuna 8% cashback ya nini ya Euro ya 22bet.
Get 100% bonus on your first deposit now. SMS join to 29252. 22bet. Tucheze, tushinde.
22. If you're a business person, a trader, or anyone who wants to sell something for money, you have to advertise your products and services. Maisha TV is your best and affordable platform to market your business. We have over 50,000 Facebook likes, 1 million viewers watching us. We have daily news, highly visited website, and so if you advertise with us, we simply put your products or services to over 2 million people across all our platforms. Seriously, if you want to make money, you must market your business. Let's do the marketing and you get your money. Call us now, 0746 999 841. That is 0746 999 841. Or write to info@maishatv.co.ke. Just choose it, watch it, and love it.
glad you could join us tonight for PLG Thursday, that is Politics, Leadership and Governance. I'm your host, Rida Chebet Karing, and today we're going to talk about a lot of things that have been happening since last Thursday. We were here and we're discussing some of the common issues in our politics in Kenya. And I'm joined by a politician and also a political analyst, and he's also a business person, Mr. Alex Wanzala. Karibu sana, Alex.
Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, thank you for accepting my call. And we're going to talk about national politics, local politics, and also we'll touch a little bit of leadership and governance. Now, to start us off is the issue of the situation in our country currently, that is the president and his deputy, William Ruto. The way they've been arguing, there have been open disagreement. Kenya kila mwana Kenya tuseme ameiona. Can you say that the handshake between the two brothers will happen anytime soon?
Well, Chebet, first of all, I want to say the basic question is, what is the motive for that particular privilege between the deputy president and his counterpart, the president of this country? You know, many Kenyans don't understand. So the basic question that we should be asking ourselves is, what is the reason why these two, you know, be able to reach at that point that they have right now?
Yeah.
You know, the deputy president is a very smart guy. He has a very good intellect, and is someone who has been in this game for quite some time. Also, the president, you understand, he has been in this game for quite some time. So these two, they started long ago, you know, when they decided to fold their political parties into one umbrella, that is Jubilee. So these two have been together. So why now? That is the first question that we'll be asking ourselves. So I think, you know, the divorce between the deputy president and the president, to me, I think it's not only going to affect the affiliates of Jubilee, but also the country in general. Because right now I'm seeing, for example, in Mount Kenya, people are lamenting. Western the same, Rift Valley the same. So I think basically what I can say is that we should also ask ourselves first, before we start, you know, stipulating or making an assumption, or maybe coming up with predictions on how this thing is going to end. We don't know what, you know, conspired, or what made the two to be able to, you know, to separate. So we cannot just predict on whether they are going to unite or not. But I can tell you also this, that politics is like playing cards. We never know, you know, and we still have time for that. Yeah. So I think before 2022, things can change. In Luya land, we say, Vindu Vichenjanga. I think that quote, you know, it means a lot.
Yeah.
So, but also, we have seen that the handshake, people are just projecting that the handshake is the major motive for separation of the two.
Yeah,
you
even the deputy president has been saying that in most of the addresses.
Very well. And, you know, so something interesting is when Raila, we saw Raila is the opposition, right? When Raila came into the government, that's where the deputy president decided now he wants to, you know, to move on. So I think there must be maybe difference in interest, political interest, between Raila, Uhuru, and you know, the deputy president himself, Ruto. But we as citizens, we actually don't understand what conspired that night before the two came out in the morning in the Rambe house and they're telling us that we want to bring the Kenya together. Yeah. So I think it's basically a difference to do with interest, ideology, and also interest into 2022. That's what I can say.
Yeah, and you are a political analyst. Can you say that the handshake between the deputy president and the president will happen? Because we saw no one believed that the handshake between Raila Odinga and President Uhuru Kenyatta will ever happen. Do you think, in your opinion, that the handshake might happen?
Well, the two have come a very long way. And you remember in 2013, when the two started, you know, campaigning for their presidential elections, the two are very close. And you see they have been working together into the umbrella of Jubilee all this time. They have been able to reach every country, every corner of this country. And I think, to me, deputy president, it can happen. And you see, I cannot say I'm supporting, you know, the handshake with the two. Because as you can see, currently, we are facing a lot of, you know, constraints as a country. We are facing a lot of issues regarding the economy because of the separation of the two. So the cleavage has been able to bring a lot of problems in this country. So I cannot be able to support if these two are going to become together, and we have always to see a small, you know, transformation or changes from the handshake. So I think what I personally, what I can say, be able to say is, I think the president of this country will be making a very big mistake if he decided to, to again come together with the deputy president.
Why do
so
you
what is
say
their
that?
mission? What is their interest? Because that's the question I'm asking myself. Because all these second term, they have been, struggling here and they are trying to bring attention into this country. So why at this particular time you're heading to election is the time you want now to come together?
You
so
know, the religious leaders have been saying that the country is now at a limbo, I can say, because ukiangalia wako na wafuasi, deputy president ako na wafuasi kubwa.
That is right.
Pia the other side has a big following. So the religious leaders are saying that it's not good for the country, and they want the two to come together. And even I saw the Catholic bishops were saying that they are ready to act as mediators between the two.
Well, but I think it is very conspicuous that has been able to bring people together. That's what I can say. Leave aside this second handshake of Dr. Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta. We have seen vividly that handshake. We remember we had a lot of tensions after the second election. And people, it was even hard for people from Central to travel to Nyanza, or Nyanza to travel to Central. But right now things have been altered. We have seen people are now carrying out their business as normal, even in Nyanza. It doesn't matter if the tribe you're coming from. So I think, personally, I think Raila Amolo Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta made a very big step into uniting and coming together into the big handshake. That's what I can say. But for instance, if we are going to witness now the second handshake between the president and his deputy, to me that's a narrative.
But you see, if you're saying that President Uhuru Kenyatta's handshake with Raila Odinga brought the country together, but then they sidelined the Deputy President William Ruto, and you understand that Deputy President has a big following in this country. So can you say that you're saying that it was a good decision, but now the other side has been sidelined? So tunaweza sema that the Deputy President and the opposition. Don't you think that even that side also is feeling that like they are sidelined?
Well, I do believe in democracy. And you see, for us to have democracy, it's not a must that we walk the same path. But people have different ideologies. So, Deputy President has his own different ideology. We have Raila Amolo Odinga who is having his own interests, even Uhuru Kenyatta. So, if the two cannot be able to realize or have the same goals and at the same time, so I think it's only good. Because we cannot be able to blindfold Kenyans or lie to Kenyans that we are working together. Otherwise, we are very adversary at the first place. We are even insulting each other, matusi kila mali. I think that is very wrong. What we should do, we should be able to give each and every person his or our own space. So I think the deputy president, if he's having his own ideology, he can be able to move with his own people. Otherwise, and Raila Amolo Odinga, if they see they can be their interest to bring the Kenyans together, to bring cohesion and governance. And even in terms of transforming this country, then they move the other direction. What I can say is we have seen, these adversaries coming here and there into politics. But the basic question that one should be asking themselves, if these two are having different in ideology, which ideology is better for this country? Which ideology is going to transform this country? Which ideology is going to make us move together as a country? So such a positive, discussion is what we should be discussing here and there. We should not be discussing about someone who is very charismatic, because you can be able to pull crowds. You can be able to move with big multitudes. Now we want to say we are going with you. No. You should tell us, what do you want to do with this country? What interest do you have to do with your wananchi? Yeah, those are the basic questions.
And during their first term, that was 2013 to 2017, there are no wrangles. The deputy president and the president were in good relationship. Can you say that maybe it's the ODM leader Raila Odinga who brought all these in the Jubilee government?
Well, I can tell you, and we in this country, we have been asking ourselves a lot of questions on that particular evening. What Raila Amolo Odinga and President Uhuru Kenyatta discussed that night, we don't know. But what I can say, the first time, as you remember very well, when the right opposition or the right honorable Raila Amolo Odinga was on the other side, you see, the country had tumults, as you remember very well. We were not in that state where I can say that we are united as a country. On terms of economy, we have been complaining about embezzlement of funds. We have been complaining about corruption. We still let corruption do that time. On the second term, this is when Raila Amolo Odinga came up and intervened. And what I can say is, you cannot be able to drive a bus where you're outside. It doesn't compute. So what I'm trying to say is Raila Amolo Odinga, regardless in the opposition, he had to come into the government to be able to realize together, be able to discuss, so that they can be able now to say we want to move this other direction. Because you being in opposition, it is not all the time that you criticize. Na kuweza kulalama kila wakati. No, sometimes it's good for us to walk into the one direction. So as you remember, the function of the opposition is to do the oversight and be able to advise the government on how the best way they are going to do. So, and that is exactly what Raila Amolo Odinga did. So you can see into the second term, we have been able to see some transformation here and there. The project we have been able to realize. Like you remember in Kisumu, they have launched the airport. I think, look at the SGR. It is coming even in Kisumu. So those are some of the changes that we need to be able to see. On the deputy president, we have seen the second term now the deputy president have made everything now to be worse enough. He then be able to come with the narrative of bottom-up approach. The hustler nation. The hustler nation has been able to divide this country instead of bringing the people together. So if the hustler nation, they are saying that they own this country, we have the space for the hustler nation. What about the rich people? Some people are born into richness. You cannot be able now to exclude them because they are rich, and you people, you are hustlers. That is not right. And I think what I can say is that the deputy president should be able now to, if you cannot win them, you have to join them. That's what I can say.
And that's why I was telling you that you're saying the handshake between President Kenyatta and Raila Odinga was good for this country. And now they sideline the deputy president. And you see the deputy president now has his own narrative. That is the hustler nation or the bottom-up economy. Ukiangalia that akona, as in the same, almost half of the country wanamfuata. So tunaona pia hiyo, that is not good for the country, because wakimkata yeye kando, meaning that Kenya is still divided. There's no solution there.
But I'll tell you what, it is not that the deputy president has been excluded. I want to rectify you on that. You remember when we had the BBI and we had all these public participations and people were told, let us come together. Every political parties, you had to bring up your opinions and discuss this thing together. These people from Tanga, what did they say? They said that thing, we don't want to listen to it. But we had a space. So it is not a matter of being exclusion. The deputy president has been able to be given opportunities to be able to share his views together, but he didn't.
You saw during the launch at the Bomas, the deputy president poked holes in that document, and he said that we can do some changes, 1, 2, 3. But what uliangalia the reaction of those who support the BBI, the supporters of Raila Odinga, and so they booed at the deputy president. And now after hizo changes, sidhani kailifanywa, the same things that the courts said. So can you say that Apa Haku, he was not excluded because the decisions zake hazikuchukuliwa?
Well, if you remember vividly that on that particular launching, you know, the forum was open for everyone. You even saw the senator for Bungoma also spoke, but he was bored. So I cannot say that, you know, every person who was sitting there as an audience were people from Kioleweke or maybe ODM. We also had people from the same party of UDA or Mother, they say Hustler Nations. They are also there. So I can say it, you know, that's what I've told you. If you have an idea, it is not a must for people to listen to you. Like they want to follow you, not listening, that they should follow you. We can disagree on these opinions. And that's where the essence of democracy comes in. You listen to someone, then you decide on which person you're going to vote for. You know? So I think the deputy president, I want to tell you again, he has not been excluded, and we still have time. He can come in and join the team. You know, we can. I think the deputy position of the president, if that would be possible, he can even fit him come 2022.
Yeah, and currently in our politics, can you say that we still have an opposition party?
Well, the position is still there, and Raila, you know, people are just misquoting. And you see these members of parliament, they are misleading people. These members of parliament, they are not telling people the right thing. They're supposed to be here. What I can tell you is, we have the opposition. Raila becomes the second. Automatically, is now the opposition. So he's still there. The only thing I can say is, you know, Raila has been able to make precedented moves. We have never seen this for almost 30 years. Now, whereby the opposition come in and you may be able to unite with the current government. But I think it's for the benefit of the people. It is for the goodness of the people. That's why we are seeing the fruits of handshake. So Raila is still rectifying things in the government. We have seen Raila coming in and be able to give, directions on the projects. So I think we still have the opposition. What I can say is Raila cannot be able to drive this bus when it's outside. He should be inside. That's why we have been pushing for the BBI. And on that particular article, we said that the head of the opposition should be in parliament, so he can be able to control what is going on while in parliament. Yes.
Yeah, and earlier on you mentioned about the bottom-up economic model championed by Deputy President William Ruto. Do you think that it is applicable in our country? Because the other day I saw Joho, the governor of Mombasa, saying that that is it's a foreign model and it's not applicable in Kenya. Do you think that it is applicable or just it's a political narrative?
Well, first of all, the bottom-up economic matrix or model, I don't understand what is it. Because what I know is it's something that should become from, the ground as it goes up.
Yeah.
So the issue here is, and I remember even member of parliament, I think he was Alice, in one of the media stations, he was asked, what is the bottom-up economic matrix? And she should not be able to answer that question. So I think the people of Tanga, they're just trying to, come up with this narrative in order to blindfold Kenyans. And it's high time that Kenyans should be able to open their eyes and understand what this bottom-up economic approach is just lies. Because how can you tell me that I should be able to make money because I come from poor background, or maybe I'm someone of the low income, but you cannot be able to tell me the exact way I'm going to get that particular money? Because of course we understand hustlers, people from the ground who don't have money, we understand it, it's real. But how are you going to make sure that these people, they have money? That is the essence. So the deputy president should come up very clearly and tell us the bottom-up economic matrix, what works in this way, and not this, the other side he has been telling us. Because people are just following the train. The train has already left. People are just following, but they don't know the destination that train is going. That is the basic, reason why we should be able to ask ourselves a lot of questions. So what I can say is the bottom-up approach, it is just a narrative. It is just he called himself doctor nowadays. Yeah. I think the deputy president is just trying to camouflage from all these, accusations, because we are going to accuse him of, he has saboted the government right now. How can you be in the government and you are criticizing the same government that you are? So he wants to leave all these problems, because they told us we are going to enforce on the 4-4 agenda. We have not seen that. They have not reached that particular level that we can say these people, they have been able to work together strongly and they have attained the 4 agendas. So I think the Ruto is going to, he wants to protect his interest. He wants to move away from the accusation of people, the allegations. Because people are going to lament by the end of the day. You have been telling us about the laptops. We don't have the laptops. You have been telling us about the free education. Our child, they are on the streets crying, having those particular posters crying for help from well wishers. So that is the direction the deputy president wants to take us.
Yeah, and still talking about economic, now Kenyans are protesting following the hike of the fuel prices. Yes. What is your view on the government's economic plan?
Well, first of all, it is very unfortunate as a country at this particular time, when we have tough economic situation, and then the government rises up the prices of the petrol and all these oils. So I think, but the people to lament that the members of parliament, because members of parliament have been given the obligation under Article 95.
Yeah,
it is their responsibility and obligation to make sure that everything is being discussed in the high office. It's also being discussed in the chambers of parliament. So members of parliament should come up with and say it and be able to, because they represent us.
Yeah.
We have sovereignty power. We have been given the sovereignty power by Article 1. Yeah. But we cannot be able, we can only be able to be represented by those people who have been put there, the members of parliament.
Yeah, the MPs.
So instead of them discussing very important issue that is touching the grievances of the people, so I can say that is very unfortunate, and the government should come up with radical measures to be able to, to stabilize this situation that we are, because our people are really struggling. I've been coming there and I've been able to board one of these tuk-tuks. We used to pay 20 shillings. You know, they're telling me that I should pay 40 shillings. You see, so such, and where are we going to get that money? We don't have money right now in the country. The economy has been sabotaged. So I think the government should be able to come up with mitigation measures to curb this particular menace, because they created this menace for themselves. So we cannot be able to blame us as citizens. We should be able to blame the current regime, that is Jubilee.
Yeah, and now Uhuru is about to leave office. How can you remember him economically?
Well, let me just be open. I think the president has really tried. The president has really tried, and as a country, he had good plans. You remember in first time, regardless, I was not supporting him, but in first time he really tried. Because as we understood, 3 to 2 years, they have been working closely with the deputy president. Because this is something you need to sit on the table and be able to discuss. How or which direction are we going to take as a government? Because Jubilee, we understand very well, Jubilee was the government.
Yeah.
And it's still the government right now. But when the deputy president, made his move, that's where the problem arose. And the president himself could not be able to bear, That's why Raila Amolo Odinga decided just to come and help, to move up with this economy. So I can say the president tried. In the position, he's the head of state, and he really tried. But you cannot be able to do that alone. He needed someone who was not there for him. And that is the deputy president we're talking about.
But in the first time they were together, I think it's the second term where things started shaking a little bit.
But where are we heading as a country? As you have told you earlier on the first time things were better a little bit. But on the second term, that's where things got sabotaged and destroyed in everything.
Yeah, and as we head for the general election, that is 2022, almost I think it's less than a year.
Yes.
We have some candidates, like I can mention just a few. We have Ruto, who has declared that he'll be in the ballot. We have Raila Odinga, who is sijaona kama ametangaza wazi. Yeah. Then we have Mudavadi, Wanjigi, and other aspirants. Who among those that I've mentioned do you think that can lead this nation well in terms of economy, cohesion, and peace?
Well, I think so far as the list you have been able to list it is what I can say. We have Raila Amolo Odinga and the deputy president. These others, they're just there because they want, to frame up everything they want to. But I can say this, that in 2022, the only people we should be focusing on is Raila Amolo Odinga and the deputy president. Mudavadi on the other side, he had chances. But I can tell you what, you cannot find a tortoise on the tree. The basic question will be asking yourself, how did that tortoise reach there? Definitely someone put it there, because tortoise cannot be able to to climb a tree. So Mudavadi, he had a position, but Mudavadi cannot be able to take this mantle come 2020. He is not ready for that. So Mudavadi needed someone to be able to make him to reach that particular place that he is aspiring for. So is what I can be able to give the people of Mulembe Nation or West in general is that we have seen the cake has already been baked. And we understand very well that we Luyas, we are good in making, ugali and so forth. So before we sit for that particular meal, they can decide that let a Luya be able to cook ugali because you are good at it. So I think Mudavadi can be able to make his position into the deputy president position come 2022. I think that one he can be able to manage. But telling me that the president position is not ready for that. Because Mudavadi, as we all know, he has just said in Kakamega, not even here in Bungoma. People don't know him. So let us stop the narrative and the notions of our people. We should be able to see people who can be able to bring development, people who can be able to change this country. Not just this person should come from our tribes.
Yeah. Yes. Well, thank you. I'm seeing that my director is telling me that our first time is up. Okay. We're going for a short break. Then we'll come and discuss. I think in our second part we'll major in the local politics now. My name is Rida Chibet Keding, and this is PLG Thursday Politics, Leadership and Governance.
If you're a business person, a trader, or anyone who wants to sell something for money, you have to advertise your products and services. Maisha TV is your best and affordable platform to market your business. We have over 50,000 Facebook likes, 1 million viewers watching us. We have daily news, highly visited website, and so if you advertise with us, we simply put your products or services to over 2 million people across all our platforms. Seriously, if you want to make money, you must market your business. Let's do the marketing and you get your money. Call us now, 0746 999 841. That is 0746 999 841. Or write to info@maishatv.co.ke. Just choose it, watch it, and love it.
Nyinyi mko na noti ya 10k moja na it can only buy a chicken.
Kuna wale ambao wameiba mali ya umma.
Wale watu wa seminar na retreat.
NASA died. I'm a man of God. I prophesy NASA is dead. Tena iko shetani fulani anatuambia turudi nyuma tena kwa hiyo ndoa. Mimi ningependa tafadhali mtuombee leo ile ndoa ya NASA. Tafadhali Apostle mtuombee party leader wetu wasirudi huko.
They need money.
Because ukiangalia time ya budget.
No, it's the poorest county.
Wale ambao wanajiweka mbele kwamba ni mafarasi ndio watu ambao watatupotosha katika hii nchi ya Kenya. Wao wanataka watutumie kama vibarakala, tuwapatie uongozi, hakuna manufaa tutapata kwao.
And now you have, let's say, 20 million who will leave back. How do you bank that money again?
I'm telling you, the culture of selling stuff in Western Kenya, any asset must be sold, any liability must be sold. Have you seen for the past 2 years what this man has been going through? Every time he has to come out and explain things, and the people who are putting him in these problems, what could do?
Hii wizi mingi imejaa Kenya. Bwana mwe aliongoza Kenya hapo na wizi kama hii.
Western Kenya needs a think tank.
Hizo ndio safarasi mbili tunatarajia. Lakini hao wengine tumechoka nao.
Na baba.
Maana mtu kama baba hauwezi poa unapewa penalty kila wakati au ufungi bao na bado timu inakupatia penalty. Sisi tumempigia ya kutosha.
Tayari kusimama na Msalia liwe liwalo. Kama vile baba aliposimama na watu wake wa Kisumu, akasema hata akisema ati ende uanguke kwa kisima, anaanguka kwa kisima ati juu baba amesema. So mimi pia niko ready kusimama na Musalia Mudavadi.
Sasa wanamsumbua rais, badala ya rais kufanyia kazi wa Kenya. Sasa rais amekuwa ati anashughulikia watu watano hapo kujaribu kuwapanga na tamaa yao.
Thursday, there is politics, leadership, and governance. And we ain't gonna leave you out of our conversation. You can text or call in 0746 999 841. Welcome back. Remember, this is PLG Thursday, Politics, Leadership and Governance. I'm your host, Leadership Red Kaling, and I'm joined by a political analyst, Alex Wanzala, who is helping me to dissect some of the political things. I can say things because I am not that much into politics, and he's doing it very well. And now I want us to shift gears now into local politics, that is Western politics. I'm particularly interested in your opinions on the Western counties landscape, political landscape, and one has been the stalled projects. Like here in Bungoma, we have the dual carriageway that's stalled. In Kakamega, we have Mumias Sugar Company, which is now dead. In Busia, I can say that there is no tangible any investment. The same in Trans Nzoia County. Let's go in politics. Who is to blame for these stalled projects?
Well, Chebet, first of all, the father takes the good care of the home. That is what should be reflecting in people's mind before even you start tackling this issue. So in Luya here, especially in Mlembe Nation, we have had people calling themselves kingpins of Luya politics.
Yeah.
But we are not seeing that in the real politics in terms of development, in terms of our own welfare as Luya people, in terms of our interest in the national level. So I think, and we have Mudavadi, the leader of ANC. We also have Senator Moses Wetangula, who is the Ford Kenya leader. I can just mention a few, but let me start with the two individuals. You know, these are people who have been in politics. We call them technocrats. They are people who understand the hideouts of politics. They are people who understand what the economy is. They are people who understand what development is. So I think, to me as an individual, the first people I should be able to blame are these people. Because we have seen, like here in Bungoma, we have seen Pan Pepper is dead. We have seen Mumias Sugar is dead. And this is where our people get, you know, something they can be able to feed their families. They can be able to create employment opportunities for young people.
Yeah.
So I think the people to be blamed, even without considering the position of the president, or rather on the executive as a whole, the people to be blamed are the Mudavadi and Wetangula. And it is very unfortunate and absurd when I see in their campaigns, you know, they are calling themselves the kingpins, but we are not seeing that in the ground. Our people are really suffering. You know, our agendas. Who is going to represent our agendas in the national level?
Yeah.
They are the ones who are supposed to do that. And these are people who have been cabinet secretaries. Some of them have been ministers during the time of Moi. But we have not been able to see tangible proof, or rather a positive impact they have been able to create in their motherland. So I think the people to be blamed are our leaders, loyal leaders. Even, for example, the former senator for Kakamega. That is this guy, the Bulls guy. I think, you know, people should be...
Boni Halwale.
In fact, Boni Halwale should be ashamed of himself. Because you cannot be able to tell us that you are going to deliberate to your people. And you have been given position, you have been there. But you are not seeing any tangible proof. In fact, it's better if young people can be able to come and take these approaches, because they can be able to, you know, turn things, or rather turn the events. So I think our leaders have failed us, and that is very conspicuous. We have evidence. It is something that we have been seeing.
And we see Kakamega, the governor there, Wycliffe Oparanya, is really doing well. There are some projects, even Kenyatta was supposed to come to Western and assess some of the projects, and all the projects were in either Kakamega or Vihiga County. What is Governor Oparanya doing different from leaders from Bungoma, Busia and Trans Nzoia counties?
Well, I can say Governor Oparanya has gone out of this context of our people narrative. This essence, these notions of saying our people should be able to take this position, because we understand very well Oparanya is in ODM and he's doing very well. We have been able to see transformation in Kakamega. We have been able to see developments, opportunities. Talking about industries, have been able to nourish, though gradually, but at least we are seeing something. For the second time he has been there. So I think this one brings the question of, we should not be basing on just local politics, but it is time that people should be able now to see outside, or rather on the context of our people in the ocean. People have been able to criticize Oparanya because in ODM. And some of these people, for example, Malala, there are some of the sentiments that Malala has been saying that, you know, you have gone against your people into making, or maybe into vying for another political party. I think that is not good. We know, for example, in this country, under Article 38, we have been given the opportunity, we have been given the right to be able to, you know, to stand, to be able to vie, or be able to support any political parties. And that is the essence of democracy. So don't tell us that we should be able to support, for example, ANC for Kenya because the foundation is based here in Luyaland. I think that is the notion that we should be able to ignore. Yeah.
And there is a statement that the governor of Bungoma, Wangamati, said about Mudavadi, and he was saying that Mudavadi, let me just read some of the things that he said. He said that I pity some leaders, the likes of Mudavadi. If you can't mobilize the Western region to rally behind you, how can you mobilize residents? You must first lock your region before proceeding to other regions. What can you say about this statement?
I want to support Governor for Bungoma 100% because it starts at your place. If you cannot be able to control your children, for example, here in Luya, if you cannot be able to control your children and your wife, how do you want to go into controlling the neighbor? It cannot happen. It is not even computing. So I want to say that Mudavadi and Betakula, first of all, they should be able to unite our people here together. They should be able to change the mindset of our people. Not only through ideologies, but through developments. We want to see our people coming up. We want to see industries being built here in Western. We want to see good roads. We want to see infrastructure. So don't tell us the notion of bringing our people and you yourself, you cannot be able to control our people. So that is, and I don't hate Mudavadi or my senator. But what I can say is they should be able to come on the ground and be able to do a thorough work of making sure that they have been able to unite. I've been seeing people, this notion of uniting Mlembe nation coming up. But how are we going to unite our people and we have wrangles among ourselves? People are pushing, people are pushing through in different directions. As you see in Kakamega, we have those people supporting UDA. We have all those people who are supporting ODM on the other side. And we have also those close allies of Uhuru on the other side. It is like force. It goes in different directions. So we cannot read on the same page. We want to see that if you are going to vote, let us vote as a block. Because you have numbers. We have numbers. But if our leaders, key leaders, like the kind of Mudavadi rectangular, cannot be able to intervene, this menace of separation or cleavage between our people, then I think they don't have a position to stand into the biggest position there.
And what can you say is the main reason why the leaders in Western are not united, or the Western people are not united?
Well, but honestly speaking, I'll tell you, it is the personal interest. Our leaders, we call them omba-omba. And I think that is the best term we can call them. Because they are just considering and looking forward for their own interests. They are not basing upon the interests of the people. That's where we go wrong. It is high time that our people should be put first. You as a leader, representation is all about bringing the interest and the welfare of the people you're representing first, rather than your own interest. But we have seen them, they want to secure a position. That position is not going to help the people of Western. It's going to help them as an individual. So, first of all, they should be able to put the interest of the people first. And some of these interests of the people we are crying here in Western is all about industries. We are talking about, infrastructure. We are talking about employment opportunities. We are even talking about education. We only have, I think, 2 tertiary institutions. That is Kibabi University and Masinde Muliro. We should also bring another one, or even 4. Such discussion is what we want to hear. We don't want to hear any notion of about 2022 succession. We want to see that the development are being brought here back in West.
And someone was telling me that it's hard for Aluya to support Aluya. Do you support that statement? Ama labda ni unaangalia huyu mtu anaweza offer nini?
Well, it's all about interest. And I can tell you, if someone has good intention, if someone has good interest for his people, why can we not support him? Even if he's our own people, why can we not support him? We have been supporting, Oparanya because we are seeing the great thing Oparanya is doing back there. So I don't think it's a notion of, or this narrative of our people. We can change that notion. We can even support that particular person if he's vying for another party, but he's a lawyer. I think that is, it can be possible.
So in your opinion, you're saying there is a time when Western will vote as a bloc like Mount Kenya?
And that is our prayer. We are praying very well that our leaders come in and be able to reason together into salvaging the grievances of our people.
Mudavadi is saying that he's going to pick a running mate from Mount Kenya region.
Well, and I think I should also blame the advisors of Mudavadi. These people, they're not advising him correctly. Because you have seen, and in this country, things are really messed up. Tibet, it is not the elders who endorse who put someone into the leadership position. It is not that. But we have seen over these years elders endorsing people, and people are just reflecting or coming up with notions that are even not helping our people. The power lies on an individual when he's going to cast his vote. And I want to tell people we should not be focusing on the notion of being endorsement, or rather on this endorsement or handouts. We should be focusing upon your own interest as a voter. What do you want as a voter? What is your aspiration? What do you want from someone who you want to represent? That is the only way we are going to impress, Article 1. Because you have been given the power. You have the power at your hand. Vote for the right particular individual. So this other notion of endorsement, it doesn't work. And we understand Africa is our business. But we should be able to apply civilization and be able to come up very strongly and do away with all these notions.
And do you think that Kenyans are ready to vote for someone because of their, as in wachana na kitu ya mtu wetu?
Regardless, we have been going into the roots. We have been praying very well. Even the clergy, they are doing that. They are doing their work very well in terms of praying for the nation. But what I can say is, if our leaders, because we have the notion that our people are following their leaders, if our leaders cannot be able to come and change the people on the ground and tell them this is the right direction we want to follow, then I think we are going to stick to the same thing each and every time. So I think Kenyans, it is high time that we do away with these stereotypes of our people and be able to impress, the good leadership skills that some should be able to do with.
Yeah, and now let me narrow down this talk to the popular segment in the country, and specifically here in Western Kenya. Yes. Do county governments, the Western county governments, have any youth agenda basing on three things? I'll just mention one after the other after you explain. The first one is youth employment.
Well, on the segment of youth employment, I think the county government has not been able to reach to the level that we can say it is perfecting on that particular issue. Because, for example, here, if you walk in the town of Bungoma, you're going to get a lot of, jobless crowds. People don't have work. Recently, we've been able to, to see, and you see, the motive of crimes, first of all, is all about unemployment. So that will bring the element that there's no, good position of employment in this country. So I think the government, it should be able to pull up its socks and be able to make sure that, you cannot even create employment by, coming up with projects. And I don't think any concrete projects have been able to be established here in Bungoma. Governor Mangamati is doing well in terms of, education sector. I've seen him, issuing bursary and scholarship. I think that is good. But he should also, if these people have now finished school, what next for them? Papers, you cannot eat papers. You can finish school, and you understand very well the rate of education right now in Kenya. People are really schooling, and we have a lot of graduates. So I think the best thing the county government should be able to do is to come with the programs to be able to venture into projects. These young people can be able to do agriculture. We can also be able to create industrial parking in Bungoma. I think that is possible. And such are the kind of articles that have been into BBI to be able to come up with the industrial parks, to be able to salvage the employment situation in the country.
Yeah, and based on that, they're saying there's no employment. Do you think that this is the main cause of brain drain? Because someone was telling me that there is a brain drain in Western region because watu wanasoma but hizo enabling environment aziko, so they decide to move from Western to other counties and seek job.
Well, as you understand very well, we have graduates here in Bungoma. People have gone even to the high institutions, University of Nairobi, but they come back, but there are no opportunities. So what do? You cannot just stick there with your skill. You have to move elsewhere, where there are projects, where we have infrastructure, and you can be able now to apply your skills. So I think brain drain, it is happening here, and we have good people who have studied medicine. We have those people who have ventured into agriculture sector. We have people who have done well into projects, and even into education sector. But there are no, good establishments here to be able to make them to at least secure positions or rather unemployment or vacancy positions. So they have to go to other counties. And we have seen people going to Nairobi. We have seen people venturing their own skills into to Nakuru County, even Eldoret. NRIs here, our people, they are now suffering. So, and I think that one is going to drastically pull us behind in terms of development. So I think the county government should be able to come up with programs or projects. Let us, nurture our own people. Let us do it as a, as a passionate. Let us do it as a county. So my request and my opinion to the county government is we should not just basing onto the one sector. For example, education. Let us be able to, that is being biased, by the way. It is being biased because I can tell you there are those young people who don't love, education. Reading is not their thing. Education is not their thing. They have skills. Yeah. So what do you do to them? So that is the kind of notion that should be able to change. We should be able to give them also position. And the position can only be created if you come out with the, for example, radical measures like these programs or projects. And talents. People have talents. Young people, they have talents. Why can't the county government be able to impress the entertainment thing and come and be able to establish here something that can be able to, to bring up such talents? Because you have seen people earning from talents. Yeah. So such is the discussion that should be discussing at this particular level. Yes. And
in terms of leadership, can you say that there is good representations of youth in the county government?
That is another narrative that has been going on. And I want to say this. First of all, I want to rectify youths, because youths have been making wrong choices through handouts. Someone just come and be able to dash handouts, you vote for him, then he's going to represent you there. He's not going to carry your grievances into representation. That is the mistake people have been doing. So I want to say this, that the young representative, for example, youth representative, that is the position that has been created. It's a permanent position that has been created. I have never seen that guy, coming out and be able to control, this situation, the wanting situation that we are facing. So, county government and those people who have been given the obligations, they should be able to, to get to their feet and be able to do what they're supposed to be doing.
And if the youth are given that chance in leadership, do you think that the youth in this, let's talk about this county, or even Kenya as a whole, are they ready for leadership?
And I think youth are ready for leadership. I can tell you that. Because right now, even we are running a movement called the Bungoma Aspirant Association, and it's doing well. Young people have been able to be empowered. Young people have been able to realize their position. People, for example, we were born in Bungoma, and we have been able to see some of the constraints that we are facing as a block. So we have been able to come up together and be able to realize that we can do this. And you see, we've been given the position. When you read Article 55, it gives young people an opportunity to venture into both economical, both social, and political space of life. So that is the thing that should be heading for.
So you are ready?
We are ready. We are ready to take the mantle. After 2022 to Kokwadebe. And that is the thing that I want to tell young people, that we should not be able to fear. Let us be able to be passionate about leadership. Let us be able to come out largely. And we are going to be glad when you see the MCA position being taken by youths of this country. And we have that capability. We can do it.
Yeah, I saw Eric Omondi was running an initiative called Fagia Wote.
Yes,
and he was saying that it's time kutoa wazee kwa uongozi.
Yes.
But the funny thing is that he was endorsing Wanjigi. Unasema youth ni mtu kiasi gani?
Chebet, Eric Omondi is a comedian. I never believed what he was doing. All this Fagia Wote initiative, I think to me it is just a comedy. We should be very serious on what we are doing as when it comes to politics at this particular level. When it comes to leadership, it's not something that we just wake up and we say you want to become a leader. There are some of the the reasons. There are some of the reasons that have been able to push you to become a leader. So I think maybe Eric Omondi is not just doing it to get views on his Instagram account, but he means what he's doing. On the issue to do with Wanjigi is not a youth. Regardless on the presidential position, I can say it's young. He can take it the position. But on the sentiments of Eric Omondi, I think the Fagia Wote initiative, he means what he's doing. Because if he just want to create views on the Instagram, I think that is very unfortunate. And I'm also inviting him to come and join the Young Aspirant Association if you want to take any position completely.
Yeah, here in Western. And the challenge that youth who are face sana sana in leadership, you see that most of them wanatumika tu sana sana time election.
Yes.
Then you'll be told that vijana ni viongozi wa kesho na hiyo kesho huwa ifiki hadi tunazeeka. What can you advise the youth out there ambao sana sana wanangoja hizi pesa kidogo kidogo, handouts za na kupigia politician kura bora amepata kitu kidogo?
Yeah, for now I think the problem is people don't have opportunities. And when we talk about opportunities, we are talking about, you know, money. Because in this country, this is a capitalist country. So you have to survive. Okay? The process of natural selection is applying anyway. So you have to get at least something in your pocket to be able to pay bills. You need to buy clothes. You need to be able to pay rent. And maybe for those who have kids, they have to get something for their kids. So I think young people, they should change this notion of handouts, because that 200 is not going to help you. That 50 shillings is not going to help you. But you see, a young person can be able to come on board. He wants to aspire for a certain seat. He doesn't have money. But that is the passion, is the passion of leadership, is a passion with ambition of leadership, is a passion with the qualities, and is a passion also who can be able to bring change in that particular unit. So I think young people, we should not just be venturing on those people who have money and, you know, the charismatism. Let us embrace the great leadership. And embracing the great leadership means you are going to, you know, elect the person that you see this person can be able to bring change. Mimi sitasema kitu ingine, let them eat their money. Because ukiletewa pesa, you have to take it. Just take it, but when it comes to a ballot, vote for the right particular person. Yeah.
Na hapo mbeleni umesema that you'll be on the ballot.
Yes.
Ulikuwa serious ama you're just saying it? Because we are expecting to see more youth on the ballot come 2022, because I think that our time is now. Si kesho tena.
Yes, I'll be in the ballot 2022 and I'll be aspiring at Utalii Ward. It's in Nairobi in Ruaraka constituency.
Sasa unaona, we've been talking about brain drain now.
Well, you haven't been able to ask a lot of, because I studied in Nairobi. That's why I've told you they need to bring institutions here. We need more institutions. Because the course that I did, it is not into these two institutions. So I have to go away. But you see, the most important thing is we are giving back to the society. That is the essence. That's the reason why I'm here in Bungoma. I want to bring young people on board. That's where we have come with the movement of Young Aspirants Association, that is Bungoma County, to be able to give you know, power, to be able to give the energy to young people who have the aspiration into real politics of national politics. Yes.
Yeah, and as you wind up this issue, William Ruto, that is the Deputy President of Kenya, has agreed to reconcile with President Uhuru Kenyatta following the push by the bishops and religious leaders saying that it's not good for the country for the two leaders to be apart. What is your take on this?
Well, my take is that it is not good for the for Deputy President and the President to have cleavage or to separate. Because the presidency entails both of them. So they have to work together. If the two separates, it is us, the citizens, who are going to perish. That's why we are going to have economic sabotage and something like that, even the issue to do in security. So I think, to me, as far as governance is concerned and leadership, not really politics, if the Deputy President and the President come together and be able to realize, you know, their position, that is very good.
Yeah, I can just read what the Deputy President has said. He has a condition, by the way.
Yes.
He's saying that I'm ready. The bishops have said they want to put us together. I'm very much ready with the condition. He added that I will do so because the President is my boss. It's only that some individuals sounding him have misled him about my deed that led to my sideline in the government.
And you see, the Deputy President should have done that before. Because when he took an oath, he swore that he's going to, you know, to protect the Constitution, is going to protect the interest of the presidency, and that is what he's supposed to be doing. Not just going against your leadership. Because right now people are saying that, in fact, those individuals from UDA, that the one saying that, you know, the prices have gone high. And some of them have been nominated by the Jubilee Party. They are part and parcel of that particular government. So why are they criticizing it right now? So I think let us not be blindfolded as citizens. You know, politics, it will come and go. Politicians, they normally play cards. But the basic thing and the foundation is that we should be able to have hope. We should be able to have, you know, goodwill for our people, not just for your political gain. So if the president, the deputy president wants to reconcile with the president, I think that is okay. It's for our own good as a country. But let him not doing that because he wants to protect his interests come 2022. That is very wrong, you know. Because all this time, it should be and it must be on the interest of the party, of the country.
Yeah, and I think that will be a good move. And I hope that if they come together, then the ODM, the Raila Odinga should also be included. We don't want a country that will have our kikuja wawili huyu anatolewa.
No, but I believe Raila Odinga was the best for this country, and I'm sure he's willing even to talk to the deputy president.
Yeah, and I think that with that we've come to the end of today's topic, that is program, that is PLG Thursday, Politics, Leadership and Governance. Thank you so much, Alex, and I hope that you will come another time, and I hope that you will succeed in your ambition of becoming, is it the MCA of Parliament?
It's the MCA.
Or maybe Governor?
It's the MCA.
Yeah, I wish you all the best. I hope that wananchi wakati huu wataamua kuchagua vijana. Let's fagia wote.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and I'm very glad to be at Maisha TV. Thank you very much, appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. And my name is Rida Chebet Kering. See you next Thursday.
If you're a business person, a trader, or anyone who wants to sell something for money, you have to advertise your products and services. Maisha TV is your best and affordable platform to market your business. We have over 50,000 Facebook likes, 1 million viewers watching us. We have daily news, highly visited website, and so if you advertise with us, we simply put your products or services to over 2 million people across all our platforms. Seriously, if you want to make money, you must market your business. Let's do the marketing and you get your money. Call us now, 0746 999 841. That is 0746 999 841. Or write to info@maishatv.co.ke. Just choose it, watch it, and love it.
Kwa shows bab kubwa, ngoma kali, movies, documentaries, series, talk shows na vipindi vya kuchangamsha, kuelimisha na kufahamisha, ni hapa tu Maisha Television.
You're the best thing that ever happened to me.
Oh my God. Unachukua the best, unatazama na unaipenda. Kwa masuala ya afya, habari kemkem, ukulima, biashara, vipindi vya watoto, hapa ni moto. Maisha TV.
Where when we introduce this going to school and all that stuff, even the female child is supposed to go to school, and when she goes to school, she's going to be taught about leadership. The people I know who can know them better are those other youth. So what I do, if I handle those youth toughly, they know what to do to my children. Yeah.
Hello 22 bet.
Oya, ni aje?
Poa sana.
Unasikia naenda kuingia kwa account yangu napata kuna maziwa rada.
Oh, hiyo ni Euro 2020 cashback. Tunapeana 8% kwa kila game ya Euro.
Hadi kwa kila game?
Hata zenye zimekunywa maji.
Sasa nyinyi ndio mabazeng. Itabidi hadi nimechapia mbogi. Cheki Mamorio. Unasikia kuna 8% cashback ya nini ya Euro ya 22 bet.
Get 100% bonus on your first deposit now. SMS join to 29252. 22 bet. Tucheze, tushinde.
22.